First of all, welcome to New Year No Fear Masterclass seminar, webinar. I'm really excited to be here. My name is Joyce Erickson. I am your happiness igniter and happiness coach here. So we're going to be talking a little bit about that today. And we've got Doris as well, and she's our chaos calmer. So we're excited to talk about time, and then we've got Sarah, who's our transformation coach, and she's absolutely amazing when it comes to talking about money and talking about transformation. So it's going to be all about money, happiness, and time today, which is three things that we all want. I'm gonna get us started really quickly with something called EFT tapping. It's one of my favorite types of meditation, and EFT is emotional freedom technique, and it really does um, release release what needs to be released at that point. And it's all about getting grounded and focused on what we're doing right now. So I'm going to get you to start by just tapping your outside of your hand. They call it the karate chop. We're just going to tell the universe that, okay, we know right now things are a little bit crazy. We're okay with that. But right now, um, we acknowledge that, right? We're busy and we acknowledge that. We acknowledge that right now we would just want to stay grounded and focused on what we're doing. And we're going to go up to the top of the eye and just say, we feel grounded. Our feet are touching the floor and reaching out to the earth. Side of the eye, we feel grounded as the skies pull our head up straight. We feel grounded with all the positive energy and focus in our body gleaming out. Under the nose, we're smiling. Under the chin, we are relaxed. Collarbones at the side here, we are focused. Under the armpit, or actually bra line, we are present. Top of the head, we are ready to rock and roll and get this thing done. Feels so much better and so much more grounded. And I love EFT tapping because it really it's designed to bring your cortisol level down, which is the hormone that causes stress. So if you ever want to look it up, either get a hold of me or you can look up tappingsolutions.com, which is what I love to do. So check it out. So I'm going to introduce myself. So my name is Joyce Erickson. I am your happiness igniter. What I do is I help people spark their happiness from the inside out. And it really comes from the heart. Um, one of the things that we can say that I talk to people about is, are you saying to yourself like, yeah, I'm happy, but I could be happier, right? And if the answer is yes, I could be happier, then are you really truly happy? That's what I'm here to ask you. And I want to talk about something today that is so important for being happy. And you use the chat, um, ask questions. When I ask you a question, let me know what your answer is. I'm just going to pull this out of my face. Sorry, guys. Over here. Anyways, let me know what your answer is, and we'll go from there. But let me ask you a question. How do you feel, or come on live and just talk to me? That's even better. How do you feel inside when somebody smiles at you? Laura, how do you feel when somebody smiles at you? Does it make you happy? Do you smile back? What do you do?
It makes you feel acknowledged,
Yes.
which is nice. Um, yeah, typically I smile back. A lot of the time I'll start it if I see someone and we're walking towards each other um on the street. I will usually look up and smile at them, or at least give them a smirk, I guess. A
A
little bit
smirk.
of
Smirk
something.
is a smile in my sense. Yeah, smirk is.
Um, and then I usually get one back. Sometimes they smile, sometimes they say hello in passing. But it's that acknowledgement first that they're there, I think.
Is cool. So, would you say when someone smiles at you, it kind of helps make your day?
It gives you that little boost most of the time. Most of the time people are polite about it. Um, it kind of you can kind of exchange the energy. If
Right.
they're in a good mood, you can kind of feel their good mood.
Right. And
Mhm.
that's absolutely the truth. And smiling is one of those things that we should be practicing. If we don't do it regularly, right? We should definitely be practicing. It's always going to bring up our mood. It's always going to put some happiness into us. And um, we can fake a smile if we need to, right? So I say to some people, and one of the things that I've done is I've trained people to smile. When you work in retail and you're managing and pardon me expression, teaching people how to do sales, you're reminding them if they just look up and smile, they're going to get that eye contact and connection with people, right? So it's a really important feature, not just for you to feel happier, but for other people to have. That's right. That's exactly it, Sarah. Smiling is definitely contagious. And I know, it's been so interesting because I'll smile all the time at people and somebody will say, you just made my day. And I'm like, what? And they've told me that it's like your smile put a smile on my face and I was feeling really down. And it makes me feel good, right? I don't know if anybody else has ever had that experience before. Um, but it's something my father taught me, and my dad always used to say, "Smile," and he was really funny because he had no teeth, right? So he had the front teeth, so he couldn't help but laugh at him when he did that. But that was just his thing. That's just what he did, and I want to really encourage all of you to go out over the next weeks, over the next 4 weeks, and consciously, right? So here's a goal for you, and get back to me and let me know how this goes. Consciously smile at five people, and let me know how that goes. Did you make a connection with them? Did they smile back at you? Maybe make a note in your phone, and if you want to say, "Hey, I did 5 today, Joyce. Here's what happened." Daily, go for it, right? Let me know how many people smile back at you. I can honestly say I've never had anybody say anything negative to me. I've had people say, "Do I know you from somewhere?" And it's actually no, I don't know you from anywhere, but I know you now. I just have a tendency to smile at people because that's what makes me feel good. And a lot of times it's smiling and then saying hi, and they'll say hi back to you. So you can start a conversation and get to know people that way. So that's what I wanted to talk about today, as how infectious smiling is and how happy really you can not just feel yourself, but how happy you can make other people feel. Um, and when you talk about a new year with no fear, um, going out to smile at people can be fearful, right? We're going with the no fear this year. So take it as no fear and give it a try and see what happens. And like I said, um, just let me know where it is and what's going on. And yeah, I'd love to do some testimonials from that. So if you have any questions, let me know. That's your homework for the next couple of weeks. And I'm gonna pass this over now to Sarah. I'm gonna get Sarah to introduce herself. I know she has a presentation ready, and yeah, you can go from there. So Sarah, it's all yours.
Thank you, Coach Joyce. Smile, everyone, right? It is contagious. And I was going to say it actually helps us to reduce the stress level right away. And you feel connected. You feel that you are in that moment. So we bring ourselves to be mindful. So thank you. That was really, really nice. And I'm feeling very, how would I say, I'm feeling very blessed. So thank you for being here. So I am Coach Sarah. I am a founder of WOM, Women Owning Their Mind, Body, and Business. I'm known as a breakthrough strategist for women who are going through transition. So in my short life, I have been in the career in corporate career for over 20 years. I've been an entrepreneur since 20 since I was 15. So that was my first time when I actually started my business. And I've gone through a lot of transitions in my life too. And being in corporate, I have seen how women suffers through the challenges they go through building their career life and personal life. So I decided that I will try to help and guide them through because I have overcome many challenges as well. So that's how I created founded my organization, WOM, with double B. Today, I'm going to talk about money mindset, which is one of my favorite topic because my mission is every woman that I come across, I try to help them to be financial independent. So if you're here, I'm blessed to have you here because we're going to share something great today. So let me just share my screen. And let me know if you can see the screen. Awesome. All right, so today we're talking about money mindset. Usually, this is in a 3 parts. So it's money mindset, money miracles, and money and business. But for the short period of time, we're going to talk about just money mindset. So I'm going to ask here, who feels this money challenges? Because do you ever feel that when you're looking at your bank account and there are 2 bars like in and out, usually we see, or sometimes we see, oh, the out is longer than the in. So, and we start, panicking. Oh my goodness, like why I don't have enough. We're not gonna, how am I gonna have something more or do the travel that I wanted to do this year? And sometimes we worry about that all the time that we can only do what we need to do, and the pleasure and whatever we wanted to do is we put it on the side and because of the money constraint. Tell me who feels those kind of challenges. Anyone? Maybe share the chat, or I would maybe ask Doris quickly. Do you ever feel that?
Sorry, it wouldn't let me unmute. Yeah, I often feel stressed out about that's the challenge that I see is that, well, how do I get the money and where is this
Right.
money going to come from?
Well, good news is you're not the only one. And the bad news is most of us, we feel that, but the best news is that you can overcome these challenges, right? There is method to this madness that we feel. So I would say that if you ever felt that worrying about money, I had a lot of fights with my partners. In the past, I actually went through my personal journey. I actually went through divorce. I was financially constrained and went through financial abuse. So those are the things, even in a bigger scale, that we face in life, and we have those challenges, right? So I'm going to share a little bit about my money story. So this is, I got married, and then I was thinking, life is great. I came from a very privileged background, so I was thinking my life's going to be like that for the rest of my life. And then when I actually went through with my partner, I felt it was completely different. So money was one of the major stress in our relationship, and our relationship actually broke down as a result. I was in a court for 5 years, and you can imagine, maybe you can't, if you haven't gone through that. That's a lot of stress. That's a lot of stress I've gone through, and because of the money. So financial stress. Now I'm gonna say I have learned, and because of that, I've gone through depression, and I've gone through anxiety, a lot of fears. At one point, I was having nervous breakdown. I couldn't even look at my bank account because I was feeling the stress of the debts and all those, the lawyer's fees. There was so much that was going through my life, and I and then I came to this transformational education, and then I learned how to manage myself and receive abundance, how to open myself to receive abundance. And I changed my life from that. And that's why I'm here, because I know it is possible. When you even hit the rock bottom, you can climb up from there, and you can build your dream life. Honestly, you can. And I'm the perfect example sitting right here. And not only from my story, I have my clients have actually gotten a lot of abundance, and they have overcome the challenges, and then they are living their lives the way they dreamt of. So I wanted to travel the world, and what I did able to do. My daughter, she's in university now, so I'm helping her with the education. We went to Disney World, so we are building our dream life after that. But I have gone through all those challenges, so I'm here to help you out with that as well. Okay. So do you know that we actually block our money flow? If anybody understands that, or just say, if you have known that, just say yes or no. But I know a lot of time my clients says that, Sarah, no, that's not possible, because why would I block the money flow, right? And who would do that? I need money. I want money. So why I want that abundance. I want that joy. So why would I block it? So there is a reason for it. It's not your fault if you think about it, but there's a story that we always tell ourselves, and we got those stories from growing up and learning from our families, from our teachers, from our environment. Tell me who has heard this sentence from their parents or from someone: money doesn't grow in a tree. Who heard that? I've heard it. Yes, you're so right. And sometimes they will be heard even as a child. It's not, it's too expensive. We're gonna maybe buy it later. Or, rich people, they're just evil people. They're just selfish, right? They're greedy. They're not helping poor people like us. So many things we've learned, we've heard, and that kind of, while we were growing up, we were thinking, oh my goodness, like we didn't think that way, but now our subconscious mind actually caught all those blockers and blocked our flow without knowingly, like we are not consciously aware of it, but we have already blocked our flows. And for for that reason, now in your life, when you're taking decisions financially, you are always thinking, babe, I know subconsciously you understand that money is the root of all evil, right? when you have a lot of money, when you receive, let's say you won a lottery, if you won a $20,000, what are the feelings you go through? Yes, you're excited. Sometimes you go, and then right away, oh, is the scarcity mindset kicks in right away. What am I going to do with this money? I need to pay my bills. I have to, you can't keep, you don't think the abundance is, the universe just give you abundance as a gift. You wanted to spend it right away because you don't know what to do with the money. You wanted to spend it on your, um, maybe the dress you like, or the car you wanted to buy. And then it's so hard to see that maybe $100,000 that you want in your bank account and looking at it and say, wow, I deserved it. It meant to be there. But we instead, our scarcity mindset always says, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? I need to spend this because I can't see that money in my bank account sitting there, right? So those are the things it actually affects your financial decision, because those blockers, those money blockers, that you have acquired from your childhood, right? And then that's prime example is whenever I get money, I just lose it. You can't keep it. And if I'm a rich person, I'm not going to be a good person. Only poor people are good people. So these are the things comes to our mind. So why we thought of that, I already shared that, because it is our learned behavior, right? So what we do is determined by how our brain is wired. Our brain is wired because of the past experience environment, and that's how we are taking these decisions, making these decisions. However, we have, as I said, we have a best news that you can actually change that, right? As long as you know how to recognize that, we can reframe it and we can respond differently. So we can recognize that. Now you know those money blockers that you have. You can, once you think of it, recognize it. I'm going to show you how to reframe it, and we can respond differently. So quickly, as I said, it is not your fault. When you go through all those money blockers going through your life, our brain has two sides, conscious and subconscious. So our subconscious mind actually taking all those negative beliefs and storing it without telling us this is going to play a role in our future, or when you're making a decision, right? And that's 90% of it. So our subconscious mind actually controls 90% of our lives. Can you believe this? 90%. So when you think of that, if I'm asking a question, did you know your subconscious mind is 30,000 times more powerful than a conscious mind? And consciously, even you're thinking logically, but subconscious mind is so powerful, it is overriding all the time. So how we are going to take control of this subconscious mind and all those money blockers actually sitting in our subconscious mind. So money is a form of energy. Who knew that? Raise your hands or say, awesome. I know Miss Doris knows that for sure, Coach Doris. So money is a form of energy. Everything you in the world, in the universe, is actually a form of energy. So whatever energy you're putting out, that's the energy you're getting back, right? So when you're thinking about money, don't think it is. So if I'm asking you a question, what is the relationship with your money? When you think about money, how do you feel? Do you feel stress or do you feel happy? Maybe you want to put it in the chat. Do you feel stressed or happy? What is the relationship? If you think the money is a stressor for you, we're going to change that. So let's do that. And if you feel you're happy, we're going to keep the way it is, right? Because that's how you can actually bring the abundance in your life. So we can reprogram your brain, and how we can do that with a powerful new identity and new beliefs, and then creating new habits. So I would ask you, I would invite you to take responsibility for your life and your relationship with your money. Because if you don't, no one else would take the responsibility for you. We only have control over ourselves, not to anyone else's, right? So keep that in mind. And all those blockers that you've seen, I call it money belief saboteurs. Actually, this is the money saboteurs I learned from my coaches, Marcy Smirnoff and Dr. Sue Mortar. It's there from their coaching. So money belief saboteurs are the ones that we just shared, the most money blockers. And at the end of the presentation, I will send it out to you as well. So I would say identify and replace your money belief saboteur. So I would say BS, the money BS. Actually replace those. Review the list of the money BS when I send it to you, and select 3 from that, and find out what are limiting your decisions. What are the decisions you're making on the basis of that, right? And then we're going to replace it with money miracle statements. So I will send that to you as well. And when you notice that your old limiting beliefs throughout the week, shift your attention to replace those with money miracle statement. So you will receive that at the end of the presentation as well. We will send it out to you. So I can share a few with you right now. So when you are actually thinking of a stress, if you're thinking, oh, I don't have enough money, I'm not worthy of getting to be a billionaire. I'm just saying, when you think about a billionaire, like, oh no, it's not for me. It's for Warren Buffett, or it's for someone else. It's for maybe Trump or someone else. I'm just saying, right? Didn't want to bring any political figures, but I'm just saying that. So yeah, smiling is contagious. So I would say, so you can replace that with money flows to me easily and effortlessly. You start saying that a couple of times, and when you actually embody the feeling, and I know one of my clients actually, I think it's Coach Doris said once that when she was washing her, or when she actually washes her hands, she feels that water flow, and she tell herself, money flows to me easily and effortlessly. Am I correct, Miss Coach Doris? Yes, she's
Yeah, absolutely.
yes. And have you seen any difference from there?
I feel a lot more abundant, and I'm appreciative of the money that I have. And I feel, there's the little bits that I never really paid attention to before. I always was just stressed about money, and I didn't pay attention to, well, you know what? I got a coupon in the mail. That's money. I got, and so just my appreciation grew for it.
Absolutely beautiful. Thank you for sharing. And again, money supports my dreams and purpose. Money is not the root of evil. Money supports my dreams and purpose. Just another one, the affirmation you can replace one of the BS, money BS, right? So I invite you to go through those, practice it, and see the results. And so I would say that if you are committed to make these changes, then you will do whatever it takes you to succeed, right? And that's how you will change your identity, and you will align your values with your affirmations, and that's how you're going to change your destiny. Okay. I also invite you to invest in yourself, take actions, and be in the environment, the community that we are. And I appreciate you joining us today, because that makes a huge difference for you, me, for everybody here. And we are community. We're supporting each other, and be grateful. So when you be grateful that way, it opens up your abundance, your flow as well. So I invite you to be in touch with us. And I think that is it. So I would invite you to actually give me 1 second. Let me just stop sharing. Awesome. So I would want you to keep connect with us. If you have any questions, please send us. And if you have, we will do our hot coaching after Coach Doris's presentation. And I would invite Coach Doris to take it over from me. Thank you, Coach Doris.
Thank you, Coach Sarah and Coach Joyce, for all the wonderful information that you are providing us. And something that I'm seeing a little bit of a link about is really figuring out what's important to you and then applying that to find your happiness and your smile, as well as for your money and how that can impact your life, and aligning yourself with that. And instead of being stressed about those things, that you align it to what's important to you. So of course, that's a little bit of what I am going to be doing as well. So as everyone has said, I'm Doris, the Chaos Comer, because as a life strategist and coach, I help people to reclaim their time. So we're going to talk about finding time for what's important to you. For decades, I was living a life that I thought I was supposed to live, air quotes, what I thought was expected of me. And this overwhelming expectation that, well, I placed right on myself has been the source of most of my overthinking and spiraling. So one day, my coach asked me, why do I do this if it makes me so upset? And it stopped me in my tracks because I have a choice. Did you guys realize that? That you have a choice? Yes or no? Shake heads. Yeah, you have a choice. And unfortunately, at that time and through most of my life, I didn't really think about it. I didn't realize I had a choice. I was just walking through that and sleepwalking really through that without thinking about it. So after that aha moment, being the structures and systems girl that I am, I looked for a way that could create that in my life and have it make sense and be repeatable. So let's jump into what I found. Knowing your values is incredibly important. If you could put in the chat yes or no, if you really know your values, I'd love to see that. Yes or no? Beautiful. Coach Joyce, whew. Coach Joyce says yes, and Laura says yes. Excellent. And Sarah says yes. And I'm going to hope that Lily says yes. So we all have a sense of what our values are. But how many of us really consider our values when we're making decisions for our life? For example, if I was to audit your bank account or your calendar, would I be able to tell what your values are? Something to think about. Are you spending your money and your time and your energy on the things that matter the most to you? Or are you just floating through that? So good question. Thank you. So Sarah is not herself without her values. So that's wonderful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send out a workbook that talks about finding what's most important to you. So that's actually identifying your values and then defining them for you. For example, almost everyone I work with says that family is one of their values. And that's wonderful and it makes sense. But what does that actually mean to you? Because for each of us, we have an idea of what family value means. It kind of touches a little bit on John Gray's love languages and stuff like that, and how you express that and how you do that. And the way that I express my family value and the way that you do might be completely different. So that individualization is so important, that you actually define what each value actually means to you. And that's what this workbook is going to do for you. So I'll make sure that we get that to you at the end. which, by the way, you will receive an email. And if you have not been receiving emails from the Sisterhood already, even though you've registered for this event, please check your spam or junk folders, because it is a new email. So sometimes it gets sent to that folder. So make sure you take a look and that you are have us listed on your safe emails. All right, so now we're going to take the values that you have, because we've all said that we've already identified a little bit of our values. We may not have defined it all the way, but we do have an idea of what our values are. There's no right or wrong here. And this system works for your unique life instead of trying to fit your life into a generic system built for someone else. And again, that's the beauty of working with the coach, is they can individualize and customize that with you. So that's wonderful. And anytime you have any questions, go ahead and raise your hand or put it in the chat. And if anybody is watching the replay and they come up with another question, just let us know and we'll make sure that we can get back to you on that. So first of all, we've identified our values and priorities for this season of life. That's important, because as you change the seasons of life that you're in, your values and priorities might change. For example, if you are 20-something years old and have no children, your values might look very different than, let's say, for us, whose children are older, versus someone who has young children. Your values will look a lot differently. And then a lot differently again when you have grandchildren. Or each phase of your life will shift what is most important to you. So it's important to identify what it is now and not just accept it for what it was way back when, right? And then you want to make sure that you've ranked those values. What is the most important? You want your top 3 to 5 values to be identified and ranked. Because when you look at those things, you want to consider the tasks that you have for this week and see how they align with those values. So for your number 1, out of all those tasks that you have, your number 1 value, look at those tasks. Okay. Hopefully there's something in there that aligns with your number 1 value. And if not, we need to consider what it is that you need to do this week so that you can align yourself with that value. Then you're going to make sure that you schedule that thing, right? Now, it doesn't mean just because it's your number 1 value, doesn't mean that it's going to take more time, but it should be reflected at least once every week. See how you can honor that value for you. And then look at your number 2 value. What are the tasks that you have to do this week? How do they align with your number 2 value? And then you work your way through number 3, number 4, and number 5 in the same way. Now, at some point, there might be tasks on there that don't really align with your values. So now we need to look at the 4 Ds. The first D being delete. Is there anything here that you can delete? If so, cross it out, get rid of it, forget about it, release it. Next is delay. Is there anything on this list that maybe doesn't need to be done this week, especially if it's not aligning with your values? Well, see if you can schedule it for another time. And here's a tip. If you've been delaying something for a long time, it probably belongs in the delete file. So number 3, the third D, is, of course, delegate. Is there any of these tasks that would be better done by someone else or something else? We live in a time of AI. We live in a time of all kinds of systems out there that can do things for you. Maybe you can hire the teenager next door to come and shovel your driveway for you, and that takes a task off. Maybe you can have AI schedule your next coffee date. Maybe you can do all kinds of different things and give people the pleasure of being able to do something for you. because there are a lot of people who are here and they want to help you, and they feel bad because they know that you're overwhelmed and they can't help you because they don't know what needs to be done. And I know you don't want to bother them, but truly, they want to help you. So talk to them, right? Even if it's just a venting session. So that was the delegate. And the last one is whatever is left over. If it is important to you so that you need to get it done and it doesn't fit in the other ones, how can you delight in this? How can you make it wonderful for you? Chances are it does fit into your values somewhere. I want you to take a look and see how you can delight. Now, don't try to fool yourself. A lot of us look at things and we're like, oh, well, it has to be done and I can't do all those other things. So, well, I guess I need to make this feel like a good thing. Do you? Or is this something that really belongs in the delete file? You need to really be honest with yourself, because a lot of us are doing a lot of things that we really don't need to be doing. So really think about these Ds. All right. So now that we've looked at all of those things, this was a really short presentation and everyone is not taking a lot of time today. But I want you to look at all of the tasks that you are doing and see if these things are doable. So you look at your week that you have just scheduled out, and I want you to really be honest with yourself. Is this doable? Is this something that you can do? And something I want to remind you about as well, don't forget about you. What are the things that you are doing this week to refill your cup? Because you won't last long on an empty cup. So think about what it is that you can do to refill your cup and make sure that's on your week as well. And that is probably one of the most important pieces. And I'm hoping that your number one value is your own health, be it mental health or physical health. But truly, don't forget about you. So see if it's doable. If it's not, revisit those Ds, okay? This is also a great time for you to look for obstacles. What are the potential clashes in your schedule? What are the potential things that could come up to derail this? This is when we want to try to make sure that we either have a plan to fix it or we have a plan for how we will deal with something if it comes up, okay? And always remember that you want to be aligning these with your values. So whatever your top 3 values are, every decision that you make, does it align with those values? All right, and speaking of decisions, if you do have a decision to make, something to take away from your anxiety and your stress is to close that loop quickly. Don't leave that decision looming over you for days and weeks, sometimes months. It'll just keep building and keep building in the stress. And eventually it'll just get to you. And then you make that decision to handle it. And even if it's not even handled yet, just having made the decision is a huge relief, right? So make the decision, close the loop, get it handled. Even if it's not something that you enjoy, I promise you, you will feel better having it done. And remember, always listen to yourself and trust yourself. If your response to anything is a hell yes, it's probably on your values list. And if it's not a hell yes, it's either a no or at least a not right now. So that, look at putting it into the Ds, right? Delete, delay, right? All right. So when I live in alignment with my values, that's when I am most at peace. My decisions are already made, so I don't have to worry. Does anyone have examples of something happening in their life where they really didn't want to do it, but they felt like they had to? Yes. You can put it in the chat if you want, yes or no. Yeah, a lot of times, Coach Joyce, absolutely. Yeah. And so a lot of times when you are, and Coach Sarah, yeah, so many, for sure. And a lot of times that's because it doesn't align with your values. And then we force ourselves to do it, and then we feel terrible the whole time that we're doing. What would happen if we just didn't? What would happen if we just deleted that and released it? Most of the time, the world would not come to an end, right? So, living by your values makes your decisions already ahead of time, because if it doesn't align with your values, you don't need to do it. Now, with this whole system set up, does it mean that I get everything done all the time and that I please everyone all the time? No, of course not. But I get the things that are important to me done and taken care of without any guilt. So I will make sure to send you that workbook. And does anyone have any questions before I wrap this up? No? Okay. So if anybody wants to dig deeper into this, I would encourage you, any of this, I would encourage you to contact one of the coaches. I will make sure that all of the contact information for the coaches is in the email that you will get near the end. Again, check your spam email. As soon as this replay is available, I will send out an email so that you can find it. If anyone is watching this as it's published on social media, I believe we are going to cut the recording shortly here. And if you've made it this far, then that means that you're interested in this stuff and that you want to know a little bit more. So get a hold of one of the coaches. You can contact us at sisterhoodofimpact@gmail.com with no spaces. And we can hook you up with all of the deals that's going on here. Most of them are finished. Coaches, please, February 10th is the deadline for the offers that we're going to make. Okay, awesome. So we do have some special offers to make, and I want to thank everyone here. I think the coaches are going to be making their offers now, and then we will cut the recording and go to the hot seat coaching with the people who are attending with us live. So for me, my offer is going to be, or is that you will have access to my workbook that I will send to you. You will also have access to both of my programs for more than 50% off. That's Moonshot Club, which is my group program, and that brings it down to $149 for 3 months, as well as the stress-free life and business systems method, which is my one-on-one coaching. And I currently have a stress reduction grant available that brings it down to $14.97. So those are my offers, and I will welcome Sarah to go ahead and let us know what hers are.
Thank you, Coach Doris. It was really great share of strategies that you have shared. I know for sure those 4Ds are going to be game changer for us. And then I'm going to invite everyone as well. Please remember, when you take an action, that's only when you can make an impact or change in your lives. So I would really invite you to take an action today. We are offering something great offers to you. So you've already heard of Coach Doris's. My offer is for my group coaching, which is starting actually on February the 15th. So I'm offering, usually it's $199 per month. I'm offering to $49 per month. There's a 3-month commitment, so we start with 3 months, $149 for 3 months, and it breaks down to $49. So you will get weekly coaching, and you'll also have a spotlight coaching, and you will also get one-on-one coaching for 15 minutes, just a strategy call to see where you are at, and definitely access to our Facebook community, my Facebook community, which is WOMB, with double B women owning their mind, body, and businesses. And also you will be part of Sisterhood of Impact. And for one-on-one, if you're going through any transition in life, women out there, they're going through divorce, they're going through any challenges. I'm a leadership coach as well. If you are going through any leadership challenges as well, please reach out to me because I have a phenomenal packages as well. The offers that I'm going to be able to help you out. So that would be usually for my 12-week program is $2,999, so almost $3,000. That's we're giving 50% off, so $1,497, and you will have 2 bonus sessions, 45-minute strategy call with me. Definitely access to our group coaching call as well, and also our Facebook community. And you will always have an access to our messenger that you can actually text me anytime, and I would respond back to you within 24 hours. Okay, so there is a lot that we are offering. We're pouring our heart to you because we want to make an impact. So please make sure whomever aligns with you, you take action to these offers. Coach Joyce, if you want to share.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just going to spotlight those of us here that are talking. So this is new to me.
You're doing
This whole
great.
system. So this is new to me. So bear with me on this one. Am I muted? No, I'm not. Okay. So happiness coaching. First of all, I just want to say thank you to Sarah and Doris. These are 2 of my favorite people in the world. And I can speak for both of their coaching. One of what we do as coaches is we test things out on each other. I can tell you what Coach Sarah has done for me and my my openness to abundance, and just feeling much more positive about money and getting money and deserving money. So she's done a lot of that work for me, as well as transitioning really from working full time to being my own boss and retiring as well. So lots of that in there. Coach Doris is absolutely amazing. I've been in her program for over a year. I'm not one that's really detail orientated, as you might be able to tell. It's not really my thing. I've got the ADHD and the anxiety thing happening, and she these women have literally changed my life, my organization. So check them out for sure, for sure. My offer today. So there's a couple of things that I have, and I am starting a new group coaching. Group coaching will start at the last week of February, and we are going to go. I'm going to go for 12 weeks as well for $149.99 for the 3 months. You can pay monthly for the $50 or $49.97 a month as well, just like Sarah is going to do. When you think about group coaching and happiness, it's really about values as well. One of the things I love about this group is we're really values and love based. And I thought that that's something we just did in coaching, but I'm learning that it's not something we just do in coaching. So we were very fortunate to be taught how important values were by our trainers. And if you didn't know, we all trained together at one point or time or another. So we all understand value-based, love-based coaching, and that's what we're going to be going through when it comes to happiness too. Right off the hop in those groups is we're going to talk about values and how that connects with happiness, true happiness from the inside out. Then I've also that'll give you access to. So we're gonna do it once a week. If you want to text me, I can get back to you or send me an email if you have any questions. You're gonna have access to a workbook. You are. We will talk about certain things that will help and work through those values with us. And you'll have access to my happiness community as well as a sisterhood community. So that's super exciting with lots of tools in there. One-on-one coaching, I'm going to do the same thing as everybody else, $149.99, 3 months. You'll get an hour plus coaching access to myself within 24 hours, check in once a week, and just to make sure that you're moving forward. Really, that's what it's about. I want people to feel like I do, where the happiness is inside of me. And at some point in time, or look in our Sisterhood for Happiness group, and you'll see how that sort of came to be. You'll see all our stories. And I challenge you to go into the group and look at those things, or it might be up top too in our features as well. If not, we'll put it up there. So those are our offers for today. Let us know if you have any questions. Like I said, you can get us all at the Sisterhood of Impact, and Doris will send you. Doris is doing all our email stuff. She's our detail person. We love her for that. Thank you so much for that, Doris. And yeah, we're going to close things off here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take off the recording.